Good evening. I'm Cassandra Joan Butler, and this is the Cosmic Connections. I'm also known as Agent 56 from the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. And wherever you may be in the world, I invite you and welcome you to, reflect on the astrology of the week. We'll also be doing some spiritual messages randomly. If you're new, welcome. And if you've been coming for a number of months, welcome home. So, my dear friends, I hope you're doing well. And this is well, it's the beginning of the end of summer. Once we hit Labor Day, at least in the United States of America, it really feels like we're getting into, um, they call it climatic fall. It always seems to happen on the 1st of September. I don't know, just everything, at least here in Western New York, the humidity left. It was much cooler today. It really is beginning to feel a lot like fall. Hi, Deb and Joan and Susan and Marie. Blessings from Quebec. Thank you, darling. And let me know where you're tuning in from. I would love to hear that in the chat. Patricia and Virginia and Marie and Joey, thanks for being here, dear friends. And again, I invite you to share if you're so inclined. Kind of an incentive for you to share. I have a little basket of the sharers, and I put your name in the basket, and we draw for little gifts. We draw for astrological or numerological or transit reports. Recently, I've been giving out transit reports because I do that for my subscribers to the Lunar Lights Club. So here we are. Technically, we're going to be together as the moon shifts gears tonight in approximately 50 minutes, and it goes to the very last phase of our new moon cycle in Leo. But technically, as we begin, we are still the strikers being aroused and striking around the factory. I'll get to that in a minute because you can't make astrology up. There is so much truth to the aspects and the Sabian symbols, which I use very much. And for those of you who are maybe new to the concept of Sabian symbols, there's a wonderful astrologer who is Australian. I know many people in Australia are listening. We're going to be talking about the aroused factory strikers, hint, in just a moment. In terms of the news and collating that with what's happening in the astrology. Linda Hill, Linda with a Y, she has a wonderful book called 360 Degrees of Wisdom that's based on the Sabian symbols that were downloaded during meditation between an astrologer and a medium, which really resonates with me because I'm an astrologer and I'm also a medium. Back in the early 1900s, Mark Evan Jones and Elsie Wheeler, they sat in meditation and they received word pictures for each of the 360 degrees on our wheel. So I'll be talking a lot about the Sabians in just a moment. Right now, we're just welcoming, love Linda Hill. Yes, Linda. Yeah, she's awesome. Okay, hello. I think Lauren has a question. What is this? This is Cosmic Connections. I'm Cassandra Butler, Cassandra Joan Butler, Agent 56 from the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. I'm an astrologer, I'm a medium, and every Wednesday at this time, God willing, we gather to talk about the astrology out there and how it pertains to you, and also do some spiritual messages as well. Alrighty. So let us talk about the astrology. Big hello to all. Hello from LA. Thank you, LaRonda, for being in here. North Tonawanda. Yes, and Bernice and Ann and Christy from Kitchener. Gratitude to you too, Paul. Good evening from North Buffalo, from Queensland, Australia, Meg. Hello there. Williamsville, New York, Pennsylvania, Gail. Hello. Sharing, thank you very much, Lois. Hello from Hawaii. Hello, Retta. Kansas here. Melissa, thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing, Paula. Lois. Maureen, hello. South Carolina, one of my favorite places. Hello, Arizona. Jamaya. Hello, Sherlyn from Boston Spa, and Julia, and the Bronx, and Miss Patricia. Hello from BC. Yeah, autumn's on its way there too. Yes. Okay. Sweet blessings to you all. Hello, Scorpios and Cancers and Capricorns and all the rest of you beautiful people. So we're in the last vestiges of the last quarter cycle, and I get this very excited feeling that I want to share this with you. Whoops, I've got to do some more notes here really quickly. Bear with me, friends, as you're gathering and sharing. Please do that. A couple of things about myself. I'm a very proud member of the CIA. Yes, I love saying that. The CIA stands for Cosmic Intelligence Agency originally, but it's basically consciousness in astrology. That astrology does not make us puppets on a string at all. It rather gives us the weather of the day. And with that weather, we can therefore make conscious decisions. If you know what's happening outside, then you can decide how you can activate yourself, right? So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, there. I got my notes down. There's a lot of details that go into this, believe it or not. I like to do at least a loose connection with whatever is happening in that big old world of ours, which is getting smaller and smaller, thanks to technology. And let's thank the new Aquarian impulse that's happening on the planet. And let's embrace the positivity of the new Aquarian impulse, which is social media, which is technology and the ability to connect as one mind. But we always have to remember the individuality. The opposite of Aquarius is what? Leo. So we all have our individuality, no matter how connected we are to each other. Last quarter square began on 8:30, August the 30th at 3:13 in the morning. So please understand, I work with the phases of the moon. There are 8 phases of the moon. Some are more powerful phases than others. But it really grabbed my attention that this last quarter Sabian symbol is aroused strikers surround a factory. So, my dear, there's the questions of the day. If you are in Australia or New Zealand, what's happening with the trucking striking situation? We know, even though we're connected, there's been so much disconnect from the people at the switch that we sometimes don't really know what's going on. So I trust everybody in this room. All of us are just everyday people. What's going on with the strike in Australia and New Zealand? I know there was a semblance of a strike in the United States yesterday. So please understand, Sabian symbol that occurred on the 30th, and then there was talk of a strike on the 31st, right at the Sabian symbol, which reflects what was happening. When I was doing a little research, and I simply wanted to know why were the truckers striking in Australia, the first news story came out because of negotiations with pay. That was primarily because of a pay dispute. And then I read about various accounts that this is really a rejection and a pushback against mandatory V's for the V. And then I heard about some TikTok dude. His handle was Disrespected Trucker 3. He was canceled off of TikTok. Don't we love to cancel people? Because he was talking about the strike of the truckers. I'm following some order here. And then, now, I have a firsthand report because I have a very much a loved one, a relative in Chicago, Illinois, USA. Apparently, there's been a Cisco strike there. Who knew? You're not getting consistency in reports from mainstream media. So consider you all deputized to be the eyes and ears of the world whenever you could get together with groups, right? Because there's a lot of, shall we say, censorship, and that's going to be, unfortunately, I believe in my heart and in my astrology, to be a lot more heavy-handed in the days and the weeks ahead. Anyway, a quote here from the Daily Mail, quoting here from the Daily Mail in Australia. The rogue truckers are now blocking major highways in every state during radical anti-lockdown strike. Also, the USA truckers want to be in alliance between the healthcare workers, the truckers, the military, all protesting mandatory vaccines. That's from the Daily Mail. All right, so I don't know. Maybe you guys know more than I, because you're on the front lines. I'm just in a little cabin in the woods here, and using this tool to try to garner information that may or may not be correct. So I think in this new developing baby age of Aquarius, Saturn conjunct Jupiter from December, I think all of us have to see ourselves as the eyes and ears for each other. Just my 2 cents. And I do believe the people, power to the people. So you're with me right now, right? The Sabian symbol, last quarter phase, we shift tonight in about 50 minutes. Now, what does that mean? Let's talk more about the astrology. Well, it couldn't be more appropriate. The quarter cycles, when the sun and the moon create a quarter 90-degree angle to each other. So, of course, the sun is in Virgo and the moon is in the sign of Gemini. Oh, what a coincidence. Gemini rules communication and transportation, specifically transportation, not the lawn haulers, but the short truckers. Truckers, no matter if they're going cross-continent, is not necessarily, I think Sagittarius more reflects air travel. So truckers are very much a Gemini configuration. So this configuration of the moon conjunct the North Node in Gemini, conjunct Ceres, the asteroid Ceres. What Ceres? Ceres is Mother Earth. Food, clothing, shelter, and toilet paper, right? So we have this push with the square in the sign that represents transportation and communication. And it's conjunct Ceres, which represents viable goods for us all. But it's on the North Node. And now the North Node represents the impulse to think in a different way, to move forward in a different way. So when you have a whole profession, the truckers in various parts, I'm not saying every trucker is striking. I'll read the comments in a minute. But the point is, that's such a Gemini situation to connect with each other and stop the flow. You could say that truckers are basically the arteries of the planet, right? And I've also heard through trusted sources, which are people like you, that there's a lot of holes in the infrastructure in California because there are many, many ships being poised outside the docking areas, but there's nobody to take the stuff off the ships. So again, the supply chain is being curtailed because of that. And then we have, of course, the trucking strike. So that's one piece of the astrology. Now, this is trining Saturn. Saturn considers to be the grumpy old man, but it's more than that. Saturn is the energy of the elite. It's the energy of the boss, the CEO. Saturn is reality, and Saturn is retrograde still. It's going to be going direct in approximately a month. But as Saturn is trining this phase, it's almost as if Saturn is trying to digest, trying to understand what this particular phase is all about. It's getting the attention of Saturn that sits on top of the mountain that calls the shots. I mean, Saturn is the energy that can be best described as the kingpin in our charts and in the sky right now. It's also, we also have this going on in the sky. Pallas Athena, the asteroid, which represents the goddess of advocacy, is conjunct Neptune and in the sign of Pisces. Now, what's Pisces? Pisces is all about compassion and tenderness and oneness and sensitivity. Pallas is often described as work, the worker, the employee, the advocate, and Neptune kind of clouds the issue. Neptune in Pisces also rules V's and V's, both of them. And it's kind of interesting. You can make an argument that Pisces is also a ruler of healthcare, right? Virgo, of course, as well. But Pisces is the compassion that comes when we have a frontline worker, when we have a nurse or a nurse's assistant or anyone who's helping direct contact with a client or a patient. That's very Piscean. Well, these two bodies together, conjunct in the sky, can indicate a dissolving of jobs. Because I know we have, I don't know, I'm not quite sure. I beg your pardon. You might know this better than I. Where there's a federal mandate that anyone who's working with patients in the U.S. now have to have the V for the V, and it has to be mandated without making any allowances for exemptions. That's my understanding. But that's reflecting in the confusion about Pallas conjunct Neptune in a profession that's about compassion. I mean, seriously, friends, as I'm saying this, I think in your own, this is a question for you, in your own world, do you know someone, anyone, who might be resisting getting the V for the V because of a medical situation, a religious experience, a religious idea, yet are not able to resist that particular mandate? And so therefore they will lose their job. They'll lose their job. I've been getting flooded with emails and texts from people, very good people in the medical community. And some of them, most of them are frontline people, like nurses. They're saying, I have 1 month left of employment. 1 month. I don't know what to do. Boy, that's going to put an added burden on the health system, don't you think? If people are willing to walk, again, I'm not in Colorado, but I heard that something like 80% of the nurses there are refusing the V for the V, so they're going to walk. I mean, we've already had a problem with employees there in every hospital. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out. And I'm not talking from any other perspective than what is sovereign for an individual. The astrology reflects this, right? Neptune is like the ocean, and it erases and it liquefies jobs in the sign of Pisces. And of course, is creating this wonderful T-square between the sun, which is in Virgo, squaring Gemini moon, which is opposite Neptune. Oh my, oh my. A T-square says that we have to find the outlet to ground or to center a T-square to make it work, to create a sense of wholeness by going to the empty leg of the T-square. That empty leg, my friends, is Sagittarius. So another suggestion I would make to you as you are looking at your charts, look to how Sagittarius this week is being activated for you. Sagittarius, of course, is where the South Node has been since May of 2020. And Sagittarius represents things, the concepts of liberty, truth, freedom, and mobility. Isn't that interesting? So that's our answer for this configuration that's very tight and very tense in the sky. All right. Okay, lots of comments. Share with each other. share with each other. Okay, I'm going to read some of the comments here. All right. CDC today is shifting gears on their numbers. Okay. I thank you for that, Susan. We all have access to the CDC's website, by the way. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry to hear that. She's losing her job. Okay. All right. Okay. Thanks for sharing here, friends. Hello. Okay. Thank you, LaRonda. This is what I love about you folks. You guys are awesome. And we have an eyewitness account. The ships are lined up at sea in Los Angeles as far as the eye can see because they can't come to port because no one's willing to remove the goods, I presume. We never want to presume anything, but thank you for that report, LaRonda. Okay. Sandtown is this May, the help of the vax. Okay. Big rallies across Canada today. All right. Thank you, Susan. You see, again, I'm not exaggerating. There's a little bit of a news blackout. There are groups in every city and every community on the planet who are gathering. And they might be the greatest advocate for receiving vaccinations. I'll be honest with you. I have received vaccinations and I have not received vaccinations. Who cares what I do? But I do care for that Sagittarius right. Sagittarius, the empty leg, right? To stand for what's right for you and you and you. Construction shortage. Okay. Oh my gosh, Marianne. A simple window in order for 2 months. Yep. 4-month wait. Yeah, I was talking to my mechanic because thankfully I got my car inspected. Thank you very much. It passed with its approaching 100,000 miles on its transmission. Great little car, though. He said, thank goodness you don't need brakes because you'd have to wait for a month. We're going to be seeing more and more of these situations because the infrastructure is it's been weighted down since January of 2020, but now we're going through the last lessons, as it were, of the year of transformation, and we're turning our eyes to the mid-October time when we have grumpy old Saturn and Godfather Pluto moving direct, stations direct. Okay, so back to this week, my dear friends. We're seeing this before our very eyes, this pushback, the Sagittarius of the T-square of, again, you can't make this up, strikers across the land and rallies across the land, and the Sabian symbol is aroused strikers surround a factory. All right. Keeping in mind, of course, what's the other big news story across the globe? Of course, the horrors from Afghanistan and the withdrawal of the United States from that country. And I'm just going to make one statement. The new moon in Leo was reflecting eyes on the Middle East these past 3 weeks. The new moon, way back when, in Leo, was the flowers that bloom in Babylon, and implying the ancient mysteries are being activated. And some things never change. And even for ourselves individually, psychologically, spiritually, for us to connect with that deepest part of truth for ourselves is essential during these past 3 weeks. Now we start anew on the 6th, and next week I'll be talking about the new moon. But between tonight I'm Eastern Daylight Time, at 8:50 tonight until the 6th of September, we're in the letting go cycle. I know there's a lot of frustration in the room. This past last quarter phase, I have found people to be very tense and very worried, cognitively distressed, cognitive dissonance. Like I said, just trying to find information for you tonight. There's a lot of censorship out there. You can't get information as easily as you used to. However, I think the tide is turning. I think no matter what your agenda is, your political affiliation, I think any human being wants to have information at their fingertips. But when it keeps on being repressed, that creates within each of us that lion that's roaring to be able to know what's really going on. And I think that's the message for this week because the last quarter moon is conjunct North Node. North Node means a new impulse forward. People are beginning to think differently and beginning to rationalize and reason differently. And plus, it's hitting everyone in their everyday daily activities. Gemini, conjunct Ceres. If the truckers strike, I'm not going to be able to get my loaf of bread. That's real. Or in Marianne's case, her parts for the air conditioner. All right, so just in a few minutes, we go into balsamic, and the Sabian symbol is a large diamond in the first stages of the cutting process. A large diamond in the first stages of a cutting process. So that's Cancer. That's Cancer 8 degrees. And by the way, that happened to be the sun sign degree of Princess Diana. Her sun sign was 8 degrees of Cancer. It's kind of interesting. She's also been in the news as a remembrance because the anniversary of her passing, of course, was the 31st. So this degree is very active because, again, a lot of us remember her, and she's one of the most beloved people ever on the planet. That idea of the diamond, she was always evolving, and she was cutting away and doing evolution before our very eyes. But she seemed very genuine, right? Those of you who remember her, that was a long time ago. I think it was the 24th anniversary. Well, in any case, this starts tonight, friends. And so ask yourself where you find 8 degrees of Cancer in your chart. That is where you're cutting something away. You're not overextending yourself. If, for example, if you have Cancer in the career house, maybe you have to just say no to your boss. You're doing too much. If you have Cancer, the sign that is, of course, in your 4th house of home, perhaps you just have to cut away all the clutter, etc., etc. So that's going to be our next few days' activity. But this is a really interesting cycle. Between tonight and September 6th, we have an inconjunct between the moon and Saturn, and inconjunct between Juno and the South Node. Ta-da! In astrological language, that forms a finger of God, a yod. It's an irreconcilable configuration. So, my dear friends, if you may be feeling a little unnerved in the next few days and feeling like, I know things have to change, but I don't see any solutions. I can't negotiate with my boss because I don't want to get the V for the V. I can't negotiate with my boyfriend because I don't want to go to Buffalo, New York for my vacation. I'd rather go to Australia, whatever. This is a time of dealing with inconsistencies between now and the next few days, and dealing with patience, cultivating patience, because there's going to be a lot of tension in the room with this inconjunct involving the moon in conjunct Saturn. Who's the moon? Moon is the people. Who's Saturn? The people movers, the people on the top, the elite. So the moon is in conjunct Saturn. The people might be wrestling with the powers that be, with the governments, with the people who lay down the rules, and feeling this inconjunct. And then at the same time, the people, the moon is in conjunct Juno in the South Node. We don't want to go down this path again. We don't want to repeat mistakes from the past. That's another issue that's coming in here from the people, which is represented by the moon. Irreconcilable differences, feeling uneasy and having to cultivate patience to cultivate, therefore, new strategies, cultivating new strategies. Meanwhile, we have in the next couple of days, Mars is opposite Neptune. Is anyone feeling this? This might be the question of the day. Is anyone feeling too overwhelmed to fight? Mars is action. And I don't necessarily mean literally fighting, but how about this? Too tired to work out? Too tired to get through your day? Keeping in mind the balsamic time of the lunar month is often a time of physical relaxation and mental and spiritual stimulation. So you may be feeling already a little bit, just on the tired side of life, needing to take a little bit more downtime, maybe a nap or two. Mars opposite Neptune. I'm feisty, but I don't know what I'm fighting against. I'm mad as hell, but I don't know if I can take it anymore. Remember that movie, Network? I'm really dating myself, but that was a cool movie. If you guys can pull that movie out, Network, with Faye Dunaway, I think it was from the 70s. Check it out. They had an astrologer on their newscast. No kidding. In the movie. All right. So this yacht is being activated for the rest of the week. And as we connect to, again, a lot of people in the States are marking Labor Day weekend. For those of you who are not in the States, I don't know if this is cross-cultural or not, but it's often the great send-off or great hurrah of summertime. And it's happening this weekend, but we will be feeling more lively not until Monday. The weekend is really kind of a low-key time for pretty much everyone on the planet, if you're working or not working, because of this yod and because it's a balsamic time. And then we restart on the new moon, which we'll talk about next week. Let's read the comments here. Okay. All right. Maureen is talking about her changing your intuitive nature. I love you. I love that word intuition, right, Maureen? It's a very beautifully, I want to call politically correct word, because I think if you were to ask anyone anywhere, are you intuitive? I think the majority of people would say, of course I'm intuitive. I get hunches, I get gut feelings. But if you use the P word, oh, are you psychic? Then people kind of get defensive and say, oh, I'm not psychic. But they're not exactly interchangeable. But I do believe that everyone in the planet, on this plane of existence, has been opening up to their right brain since 2012. And there's some really solid astrological evidence for this, because Neptune, the planet of intuition or psychicism, moved into Pisces for the first time since the middle of the 19th century. And so what comes around goes around. And so we are all more attached to cultivating and developing our spiritual side, our intuitive side, our psychic side. To that end, my friends, I left some links as we started out tonight. And I want to make your awareness of 3 links, actually. One, of course, is the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. Many of you are listening from this wonderful Facebook site. I left the link to the actual website. And there's constantly new offerings for anyone at any stage of their astrological development. So please check it out, become a member. You get webinars and articles, and it's a fabulous thing. And I love being a member of the CIA. I also have my website up there. And you might want to consider taking an online class that I'm beginning to teach on September 13th. It's called It's Elemental. It's designed to give you very unique, one-of-a-kind, never before shared on this planet, as far as I know, tools on how to develop your own psychic self. And the third link is to a wonderful gathering of astrologers here at Lilydale, New York. And I believe they're going to be doing virtual things as well. That website is called The Astrology Gathering, coming live from Lilydale, New York, in just 23 days. So join in on that if you'd like. Okay. Alexis is saying is feeling like she's feeling stuck between a rock and a hard place. Sweetie, that is, I'm going to quote you on that because that describes what a yacht is all about. It's that kind of sticky widget feeling that you can't quite go forward, you can't go backwards, but something's got to give. So just bear with it. Things will begin to break and change on the 6th. Yeah, patience. All right. Everyone is, everyone's experiencing that. Worn down and worn out, says Shar. Yes, eroded. Okay, overwhelmed and tired. This is one of those weeks, I would say, for my dear friends, do whatever you can do to spend more time in meditation. And even waking meditations. What do I mean by that? Lying in bed a little longer if you can, or going to bed earlier, or listening to music. Forget about doing something. Uh, just be someone. That Neptune opposite Mars is kind of eroding the call to action. All of us have a call to action. That's our Mars. But with Neptune overwhelming Mars, we might just be what you're describing here, that sense of, oh, all right, okay, overwhelmed and tired. We're all in good company, right, Jody? Thank you. Everything's waned. Yeah, our soul is tired, feeling warm but determined. Oh, Beth, you're always going to be sassy, you Aries, you. Okay. Chastity says the whole city, what? A school shooting? Oh no. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Taking more time for nature. Absolutely right on, Susan. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, there's a feeling the other shoe's going to drop. A sauna, with a sauna dance last evening. Okay. Okay. Karen, I want to say this to you, darling. You are in good company. You know, again, here's my passion, friends. My passion, the way I've been using astrology for over 30 years, is just to help people become themselves. The old adage, know thyself. I have had people, and it makes me tear up thinking about this, who have been crying to me in the past couple of weeks because they've been excluded mercilessly from their family because they feel strongly, for whatever reason, they don't want to get the V, and their family is chastising them and barricading them from coming to events. Come on, guys. Remember what this is. I'm not a denier that we have something extraordinarily dangerous. It's called a virus, but it's still a coronavirus. It's not Ebola. So if I say anything medical, I get all paranoid because I'm not a doctor, but I can read. And I know there's not a lot of doctors in the room, but every one of you can read. And by the way, I know a lot about immunity because I've had some very serious illness in my life. Life-changing, life-threatening. And the best advice my counselor said to me was this. 2 things. We're all going to die. Number 2, flood your cells with life-giving positivity because, number 1, your mind will react to it. That mind-body holistic paradigm seems to have been, shoved aside during the pandemic. Have you noticed that? I mean, I've been kind of like the spiritual, happy, healthy, holistic field for a long time. And part of that whole alternative, it used to be called alternative health. And then it turned to complementary health. I'm a complementary health practitioner. I do massage and healing work, right? And throughout the 30 or years or so I've been doing this, one of the most important things was respecting people's choices. Really respecting people's choices. I'm not seeing that in the discussion about the V's. It's breaking my heart for families that are being torn apart. Whatever came about the idea of, I know what's best for myself? Like working with your doctor, co-create your life. What happened to all those ideas that spiritual, so-called spiritual people have been toting? Because we've clearly seen cognitive dissonance in the communication of the various factors in the past 12 months. Well, that's okay. I give people breaks, right? It's okay not to know about. Remember, it used to be called the novel fill in the blanks. Remember that? It was a novel as opposed to an old fill in the blanks. So if something's novel, you're off the hook to being able to understand it. And again, I'm not a doctor, but I do have a study sheet. All of doctors who have an interest in communicating their 2 cents about the mechanics of the V. So it's a study sheet. How can I do this? I wanted to put it on my Facebook page, but there's no place to put it. But if you're a part of my email list, I'll send it to you. I'll just send it as an attachment. Because some of you probably don't have time because you're busy working to stay up until 3 a.m. and do research. I feel that's my job, and I do that. And trust me, I'm a hyper Virgo moon, conjunct Pluto in Virgo, conjunct Jupiter in Virgo, conjunct Venus in Virgo in the 12th house. All that Virgo, I'm a relentless researcher. So if you want to get my study sheet, maybe that might give you a little bit of information. Whoever has said that comment earlier, I feel for you, feeling isolated and forsaken by people. That is wrong. You want to get sick? Nobody wants to get sick, but you want to get sick. You want to make someone sick. You isolate them. You ghost them. You judge them. We all are different people. We all have different bodies, right? Am I wrong about this? I wouldn't tell someone you have to take a vitamin C every day. I just said something like that. The massage police could come after me. Really, we learned that in massage school. I cannot tell my clients take a vitamin C, even though it's been kind of warranted to help with immunity, because I cannot practice medicine. I respect that. Now, if a client says to me, Cassandra, what do you do to stay healthy? I can say that anecdotally, but I can't prescribe a vitamin C, or I can't even prescribe someone to drink water. Well, this isn't water. It's actually lemonade, lemons with water. All right. I'm just all ranting now around, my dear friends. It's because of that Sagittarius is being activated in my chart. So there. Okay. Let's talk about your charts. This week, if you are an Aries or Aries rising, please understand that this last quarter phase, which is more prominent, is going to help you identify who your friends are. You might be joining new groups. You might be joining new like-minded groups if you can find them on social media, or you might be finding a renewal of old friendships. Become social. Your cells and your spirit needs socialization, my dear Aries friends, for this week. For Taurus or Taurus rising, wow, you're really feeling the brunt of this balsamic cycle. You may need to rest more or meditate more or reflect more and be okay with that. And watch your dreams, Taurus. You might be getting some dynamite insight through your dream world. All eyes are on the Gemini because, the lunation is on the North Node, is on Ceres. So, Gemini, you might be deciding new ways to take care of yourself, new prescriptions for yourself, more exercise, more fresh air, more fresh food, whatever it takes, Gemini, do whatever it takes to make yourself healthier and to shine like no one's business, Gemini, for this week. If you're Cancer or Cancer rising, it's a great time for you to basically take an inventory of your skills and your hobbies and your abundance and the way you make people feel good. In other words, Cancer, congratulate yourself. This is your week to identify all the wonderful gifts you can give to the world and kind of bolster your own self-esteem. If you are Leo or Leo rising, get thyself to your iPad or your typewriter. Does anyone have a typewriter anymore? Or your pen and pencil and paper or your journal. Write, communicate to yourself, Leo, so you can communicate more effectively with others. So the Leos or Leo risers are thinking a lot this week and they're communicating. They're also taking care of the scourge of too much paperwork. They might be organizing their lives in a new way. If you are Virgo or Virgo rising, with this lunation, you're wanting to cozy up at home. You're wanting to be redoing some aspects of your house or home. You might be wanting to organize it or clean it, or maybe spend some time with some family members that you've lost touch with. For Libra or Libra rising, this lunation is asking you to have fun, to get out there, to do activities or hobbies that bring you joy, and to really celebrate life. Scorpio rising, this particular energy is asking you to pay attention to your work and your self-care and your health, and discipline it more. Become a lot more disciplined in how you're taking care of yourself. Sagittarius, the focus is on the Sagittarius parts of our chart because of this T-square. But for you, this week is all about your partners. Who do you want to hold hands with? Who do you want to trust? Who do you want to call your BFFs going forward? That is the question which will be answered for our Saggies this week. Capricorn, this is all about doing an inventory of your psychic, your psychological, or your spiritual health and power. It's an empowering week for the Capricorns. They may actually take an inventory of what they need to do to become more financially set. It's also a great time to reflect on their own individual spiritual mission in life. So it's a real reflective but positive week. Aquarius or Aquarius rising, you may be wanting to learn something new. If you are a teacher, teach something new, or perhaps make plans for some additional travel. But the idea here, Aquarius, is to get out of your rut and to do something fun for yourself that's not in the everyday routine. Pisces or Pisces rising, this lunation is asking you to take center stage in your job, in your career, take a leadership role. Don't be afraid, be courageous, strut your stuff, Pisces. Be bold and be courageous. All right. Say hello to some friends here. Okay. Hi, Loy. Okay. Taking care of yourself. Awesome, Krista. Okay. I did read Scorpio. Do it again just for you, Loy. Scorpio gets to take care of themselves. Healthcare, work, organization. Get into your routine that makes you healthier. Be more disciplined with the way you're taking care of yourself. Okay? All right. All right. Alexis, good comment. Body anatomy has never, autonomy rather, yes. Body autonomy has never been taught in the Society of America. People don't respect each other's choices about their bodies because we are never taught or given the space to value ourselves in the beginning. That is a very strong and well said statement, Alexis. You know, oh, heck, I'm going to say it. I'm a Scorpio. There's been so much, rightfully so, since it was October of 2017 when the Me Too movement began. And the Me Too movement emphasized how many women, I think primarily females, were being assaulted by men of power. And simply they were in various ways, shapes, and forms being accosted. Their bodies were being used and abused, or even their psychological bodies, their sense of persona, and fearing for their jobs or their careers if they did not submit. All right. And we're all in agreement. Women should not be abused, or anyone on the marketplace of jobs. But then this comes around, right? The V for the V. And there's going to be a lot of people who are literally facing catastrophic unemployment, careers being damaged and crushed because, for whatever reasons, and we have to respect the sovereignty of people, they do not want to have their body being interloped with something. Let's do some meditation, because in this moment at 8:57 the energy shifted. Did you feel it? Who felt the energy shift? We're in balsamic now. We're in the diamond at the first phase of the cutting process. So I'm going to do a minute meditation with you. I could do a little minute meditation with you and a little prayer, and then we're going to do our spiritual stuff, but not before I reward one of you for being so nice as to sharing my little cosmic connections. It means a lot to me. Thank you for you sharers out there. You can still share. We're not done yet. And I am going to go over today. I guess it's just like I have to go over. I'm going to go to at least 9:15 because I'm going to do some spiritual work. So when you share, your name goes into my baskets. I've got several baskets depending on where I am webcasting from. I'm in the woods right now. Sometimes I'm in the city. Sometimes I'm at my kitchen table. But the winner of tonight's sharing is Caring Award is Renee Slawinski. Hello, sharing is caring. That's right, Lois. Okay. All right. So Renee, I'm not sure in your room, you're in the room tonight, but you certainly have been, and you've shared. So please share, my dear friends. And I have lots and lots of names in there. And I will share with you a transit report that's based only on your chart. So it's not that general Reader's Digest version. All right. So now when we do the spiritual piece, okay. All right. And thank you, Dennis. You guys can share anything here, of course, relative to our conversations. I like to share with you. Please share with each other. I will have a study sheet. Okay, I do have a study sheet on only from doctors that are going to give their opinion if anyone would like to get medical ideas about the V for the V. So just make sure you sign up for my newsletter and so forth and so on. So what is this? When I work with my right brain, I shift gears consciously, and I'm going to do a 30-second meditation. You can join with me. And then I just pick randomly people in the room, and I give a quick meet and greet. This could be from spirit, someone who's passed away. It could be something from the Akashic records. I go into your home and take a peek and come back and give you a little message there. I don't know. It's much more open-ended. It's basically my Neptune conjunct my Mercury talking, and I trust it because I say a prayer. Dear God, please allow me to serve. Please allow my words to be filled with love and light and truth. for the highest and for the best as we align ourselves with the Holy Spirit. Amen. And everyone, just kind of get relaxed. If you're still in the room, I really appreciate it. I really feel your energy. No kidding. And it feels a lot of it's we're all in this together. Just take a few breaths. Inhale deeply, exhale completely. Relax the feet, the knees, the lower back. Relax, release, let go. Really be in this moment now. Some of you are just waking up. Some of you are just getting ready for sleep. Wherever you are in your day, being here in this moment, amongst friends who will not judge you, amongst people who vibrate at a place of universal healing and universal acceptance. Just relax, release, and let go. I use my fingers do the walking here. Okay, and then if you want a reading, please say so. Right now, spend a couple moments just saying, I'd like a reading, and I'll know that you're still in the room. Some of you are already, going to work or going to bed, and I'm just going to talk fast and trust, because that's what we do. We talk fast and we trust that whatever comes out of our mouth is okay. All right. Okay. Joe D. Falkman Kiss. My finger went to you, darling. Are you still in the room? Is Jody here? She said she wanted a reading. I think she's still here. Okay. Woohoo! Yes. Okay. Dear Jody, as I'm tuning into your energy tonight, I'm feeling like this really strong band around the head. It's almost like it's like a rubber band. And it's representing to me not exactly a headache as much as it is a tension band, because your eyes are seeing things, psychically seeing things that you don't want to see. I'm going to talk to you, because I know you, and I'm going to talk more of an inspirational kind of a psychic way. Using the element of water is really important for you right now. There's this band of fire around. You're fired up. You might even have a headache. I'm not sure, of course, but they're showing me really cooling off. Maybe putting some cold compresses on your forehead, and trust the waters. Between now and the new moon, Jody, they're showing me you doing some ritual with your husband, maybe doing some drumming and some releasing, and using the cooling element of water. I'm also here, Jody, with your brother. Is it your brother? You have a brother in spirit? I think you have a brother in spirit, but your brother is coming out, and he wants to talk about how you were as kids, that you with other people outside of the family, sometimes you had a shyness about you, but with him, you and he kind of met in the middle. You were very different people, but you were very courageous, and you spoke your mind to him, and you would give him advice. And he laments the fact, I know he's on the other side, he laments the fact that you guys did not spend a lot of time together until he came down with an illness which made you more integrated in his life. He laments that, but he says that it was meant to be because you were busy ministering to other people at that time. He's using the word ministering. He's acknowledging your strength and that ability to see things that people can't see, that you always had this sixth sense, but it's a visual sense, and he's congratulating you for being such an aware person. He didn't realize, he didn't have words for that when he was living, as to how intuitive and psychic and aware you were. But he's saying that your presence and your sensitivity, you address things with respect and love and compassion to so many people, so that they don't get turned off by the message you have to say. He's saying, I think your mother's coming in here and she's saying, can always get more with honey than with vinegar. And you embody that, because you've got a lot of saltiness about you that you want to share with others. But please be advised that you're the perfect blend with these elements. There's some people that you want to talk to, Jody. When they ask you your opinions, you let it come out in a very respectful and loving way. I'll leave that with God's blessings. Okay. All right, you have that headache. Yeah, again, I'm getting cold compresses, or maybe even, yeah, cool compresses, not cold. We don't want to ice the head, but I'm getting cool compresses for you. Okay. All right. Okay. Anne Marie Estock. Estock? Anne Marie Estock? Anne Marie is still with us in the room. Anne Marie, Anne Marie, Anne Marie, Anne Marie, Anne Marie. Oh, you're welcome there, Jean. Anne Marie, Anne Marie, Anne Marie. Thank you for the feedback, Jody. Is Anne Marie still with us? Oh, really, Cindy? You know what they say? Very often when we do gallery types of readings, very often there might be one or two people will have the same thing, and you still take the message. Take the message. Okay. Anne Marie may have slipped out. Again, the only way I can do this fairly is just by doing my finger here. Okay. So my finger had gone. I'll just do another one here. Okay. Oh yeah, you're here. Okay, good. All right. So she's here. Okay, good. All right, she's here. Anne Marie's here. All right, thank you. All right, so Anne Marie's, as I'm connecting with your energy, my dear, I'm feeling that you're in a push-pull with some people in your family. It's not just about the V's and the M's and all that, although that might be a part of it, but it has to do with cleaning up or clearing out a loved one's legacy. Now, as I'm saying that, there may have been someone who may have passed a while ago, but you have a lot of their stuff. And it feels to me that you're trying to organize it and cherish and respect the stuff without being overwhelmed yourself. Was this, were you the recipient of maybe a mother's or a grandmother's belongings? This is what I'm getting. You can relate back and forth with me. Yes, Alexis, that can actually happen. Okay. Again, I'm with Anne Marie right now. Chardonnay. Okay, I'm just going to keep on talking and close my eyes and keep on talking. It might not have been a recent situation, but I'm just getting a box of stuff and things that were relative to your relative, and it feels like it's a mother or a female. And you may be at this point in your life when you have to move or have to whittle down and take care of things and do so systematically. And this female person, is giving you a big push, a big nudge, and saying, don't hold on, don't hold on. I'm also, okay, thank you, Anne Marie. That makes sense to you. Good. And the other thing I want to say for you in terms of anticipating the next couple of months, the more you clear out, the more you can embrace. It's like a new, I want to say it's a new schedule for yourself. I don't know if you're getting some workout equipment, or you want to put a room wherever you live to be your own private like studio or meditation room, but you want to have a special place to call your own. And I see you doing a lot of self-improvement on yourself. Um, and you're getting fired up to do this. And this is and what they're saying from spirit, it's time for you to do this. It's very much time. It's like they're saying that you're the type of person, when you could make your mind up about anything, you go into it 102%. You're very strong-willed, but you've had so many distractions from being pushed and pulled in so many directions by so many people. You've been neglectful on taking care of the nuts and bolts of yourself, and I'm primarily feeling the movement or the exercise. Okay. That makes sense to you. Good. Um, I'm also picking up new colors, like a new color scheme, whether or not you're changing what you're wearing or how you're wearing things or how you're painting things or doing things in your home, whether it be artwork or changing the description within your home. But filling your place with color, even flowers, is really important. The aesthetics are changing where you are living, so you feel more at peace. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much, Anne Marie. I appreciate you, and not keep all those things good. Okay. My dear friends, thank you for being here tonight. I just do the two reads, but I will be doing, I don't know, at some point more on, I think I want to get past the new moon, and I'll make some arrangements so we can do some fun gallery readings. And you can always come to me and book a reading, of course. And I appreciate you. Please accept that this is kind of a low time week. It's a balsamic cycle. We're letting go, we're surrendering, let go and let God. And then we start anew on Monday the 6th. And as we start anew on Monday the 6th, let me give you the time. Do a little ritual for yourselves. Get rid of stuff, get rid of ideas that no longer feed you. The new moon is at 8:52 p.m. That's Eastern Daylight Time. 5:52, that's California time. Yeah, coast time. I don't know the time. I'm not that smart in Australia, but you can find that time for the new moon if you go to the Cosmic Intelligence Agency, and they have a beautiful article on the energy for September. Check your inbox. I'll be sending out a little newsletter with a study sheet in the next couple of days. And I appreciate you very much. Keep safe, stay safe, and most importantly, to thine own self be true. To thine own self be true. And I love you. Have a good week. See you next time.